Hi, I'm Madison from the Tomorrow marketing team, and today we're at AMS 2026 in Houston. We're going to be speaking to some of our space and sensors team as well as our weather scientists today. Hope you enjoy.
My name is Jack Dallimore, and I'm a Senior Technical Program Manager at Tomorrow.io. Yeah, so we work focusing on the space domain to do remote sensing of Earth's atmosphere. And in a changing climate, in a changing world, a lot of things are unpredictable. And as we get into this new phase of technology with AI and smaller sensors and ways to measure the atmosphere from space, this is going to be more and more applicable to people's everyday lives, especially as it relates to predicting small-scale events and very localized events, whereas in the past, a lot of weather predictions and things you would get would be much more regional. And this is going to help people just with future planning and preparing for disaster, preparing for large-scale extreme events. And I find that very important to the work that we're doing here. Yeah, there's a lot of space-based data acquisition that is not obvious to the general public. Everything from GPS data controlling markets to awareness for national defense. But specifically for weather data, getting our satellites up in space means that we can overpass any single point on Earth within an hour, which means that at every single point in time within an hour, we're seeing the same spot on Earth and how the weather is changing over time at a much more granular level. And that allows us to be able to predict weather in a smaller scale and over shorter time periods. And all of those things kind of can only be done from space unless you deploy across the entire Earth, including the oceans, which is not technically feasible. It's a great question. I think the main thing that better weather intelligence allows organizations to do is have real-time alerts and real-time activation of whether or not they need to make operational decisions. Oftentimes, organizations will just look at weather forecasts a few days out and make decisions then, but making real-time decisions where now organizations can actually implement those decisions on a quicker timescale is incredibly important, especially as there's more monetary pressure to be able to react and make decisions much more quickly. At a large scale, an advancement in space science and space technology in general is launch. So being able to launch much heavier payloads and much more satellites on one launch and drastically reducing the cost of launch means that we can get our next generation spacecraft into orbit much faster and much more feasibly without having to rely on miniaturization of technology, especially because these satellites are going to be dissipating a lot of heat. They're very large satellites. Being able to have a much bigger platform to build on is huge for the advancement of our technology. Yeah, so Tomorrow.io being fully self-funded is one key differentiator between us and our competitors. We are also trying to drastically reduce the size and cost of sensors that have been launched for years and years before us, while simultaneously making step function improvements to the capability of these instruments. So having all of that be self-funded and driven by a team of commercial scientists is very important. And being able to then launch that into space in a multi-sensor constellation is pretty exciting and something that most companies don't have the capital or the will to do. Yeah, so Deep Sky is a very exciting announcement for our company. We are going to be launching lots more sensors on single spacecraft. Currently, we only have a single sensor on a single spacecraft, but we're launching multiple sensors on very large spacecraft, and we're going to be launching dozens of them over the next few years. And it's very exciting because it means that we can achieve global revisit rates of under an hour for many of our instruments and cover the whole globe and be able to get that data back to Earth as quickly as possible to advance our scientific models and our operational utility to companies and other agencies that we work with.